Hello and welcome to our online classes. Today we will discuss notice writing. Stay connected to learn the format of the notice, different types, and discuss few questions from CBSE board paper. And in addition, you will also get few questions for practice. What is a notice? Let's answer this question. It's a formal means of communication. It can be in a form of an announcement or a display which is used to inform a particular group of people. Notice can also provide information about some function, events, occasion, and so on. Let's now see the parts of a notice and the marks allotted for each part. Beginning with the format. If you write the name of the organization, notice in capital letters, date, heading, writer's name, and the designation, then you will score 1 marks. And all these things fall as format. The content part. The content part of the notice should answer the WH questions like what, when, where, how. And if you write all these, then you will be scoring 1 marks. The content should be well organized, relevant, and grammatically accurate. If these points are fulfilled, then you will score 1 marks for the expression. Okay, now the format of a notice. As you can clearly see in front of you, it has to have the name of the organization on the very top, followed by notice in capital letters, then the date. The date can be on the either on the left hand side or the right hand side, followed by the headline, the topic, or the subject. Then coming down to the content, at the end we have the signature or the name and the designation of the issuing authority. So all these things together is the format of a notice. Moving on, we will discuss 6 types of notices along with examples. The first type that we will take up is meeting. Notices written for a meeting. If you are drafting a notice for a meeting, these points should be included. The date, the time, the venue of the meeting, the agenda of the meeting, the purpose, who to attend, who are the people who should attend, the contact address, and specific instructions, if any. Quickly go through the question and then we will see the notice for it. If you have read the question, this notice is written for the meeting of all the members of the school cricket team. Let's discuss it ahead. If you can see, they have written the name of the school followed by notice, the date here, the topic here, and the target group, who are the people who need to attend. So it's the members of the school cricket team. They have given the details of the meeting, 5th April, timing 2 p.m., venue sports room. And what is the agenda? The agenda is plan the strategies for the coming zonal tournament. And we have the person writing the issuing authority is the secretary of the Cricket Association. Let's see another example. In this question, we have a notice for a residence society, and here they are calling a meeting to discuss the problem of security in the colony. As you can see, they have the name of the society, the place, notice, the date here, the subject here. Who are the target readers? It's the members of the Residents Welfare Society. Meeting details: 10th October, time 11 a.m., venue Community Hall, and the agenda is the problem of security in the colony. And the issuing authority here is Rekha, she's the secretary. The second type of notice that we will discuss is notices for events. So these are the main points that need to be written when you're drafting a notice for an event. The name of the event, the date, the occasion, the time, the venue, eligibility, who are the people who can attend the event, the contact address, and if any specific information is available that needs to be written in the notice. We'll take a few examples just to enhance our understanding of notice writing, especially when it comes to events. In this question, this club is organizing an inter-class singing competition. We need to write a notice inviting the participants. As you can see in this notice, we have the name of the school followed by the place, notice, date, inter-class singing competition, the organizers, the competition, that is the event that is going to happen, the day, the date, the venue. Okay, this is the extra information, specific instructions that the students interested in participating may submit their names to their class teacher to the undersigned, and this is the last date of submission. Also, you need to give the category in which you want to participate, and the issuing authority here is Navita, who is the secretary of the music club. Let's see another example of writing notice for an event. In the second example, we have a flower show being organized in the Central Park, and the district collector has invited the students to visit it along with their family members. Let's see what we'll write in the notice for this question. Let's discuss this in details. We have the name of the organization, which is the Sunrise Public School Surat, followed by notice in capital. We have the date, and we have the topic here, which is the flower show in Central Park. Short, relevant. Let's see the content part. The name of the district collector has been mentioned here. Salim Altaf has informed us about the flower show being held in Central Park. So we have the venue, the days, the starting and the end date, which is 14th to 22nd February, the show time 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., and specific details. The admission will be totally free. Other information provided here are that the event will showcase different varieties of flowers and will be very informative. All students and staff are recommended to enjoy the wide variety of flowers on the display here, and this notice had been drafted by the head boy. A third type of notice is notices written for lost and found. In such notices, we have to clearly mention the article which is lost or which has been found, the date, the time, place where you have either lost it or you found it, identification marks of the thing that has been lost, The content, if it is a purse or a briefcase or a bag, that contents need to be specified. Whom to contact, when and where you can contact the person. So these are the things that we need to specify when we are drafting a notice for lost and found. Let's look at the first example. Yeah, the question is, you're walking around in the neighborhood park and you found a small plastic bag containing some documents and some cash. You need to write a notice that can be put up on the notice board of the park so that the owner can identify and collect it. If you see this question carefully, we don't have the name of the organization because no organization is drafting this notice. This has been written by an individual. So we have notice here followed by the date and the topic, which is documents found. You're giving the details when what has been found. It's a small plastic bag. The day, the date, the time has been mentioned here. The details of the contents. It has certificates of class 10 and 12 and graduation along with some cash. The owner can contact the undersigned with identity proof, and the address, phone number of the person who has found has been mentioned. Let's now look at one example of lost notice. So this child, the student, has lost her or his chemistry notes during the lunch break, and he or she is drafting a notice for the school notice board. Let's look at the contents of the notice. If you can see here, they have the name of the school, notice, the date, lost class 12 chemistry notes here. Then, because it's an individual writing the notice, it's a first person being used. I have misplaced my notes in chemistry lecture, class specified. The time, the date has been mentioned. The details has been given. It says that the notes have the name of the person along with the title chemistry notes on the cover. Now she is requesting by stating the importance of these notes that whoever has found may return it. Anybody who finds it is requested to give it to me in class 12A or to the senior secondary administrator. So the people who can be contacted in order to return the thing, the person finding it and handing it over will be rewarded with a treat in the school canteen. And then we end with sincerely yours. The name and the class has been specified here. The next type of notice that we will discuss is notices written to provide information for tours, camps, exhibition, which is very common in a school. These are the information that we need to incorporate in our notice, which we are drafting for a tour or a camp or an exhibition. Beginning with, we'll write the name and the nature. So is it a camp, or is it a science exhibition, or a social science exhibition, or an art exhibition? So that needs to be specified. If this has been organized on a special occasions, do specify that as well, followed by the date, the venue, the time, the objective, information, invitation, appeal. So you can provide invitation, you can provide information, you can invite the people, or you can appeal for a mass gathering or mass participation. You can specify the entry fees, or is it free or is it a paid entry. The duration, what will be the duration of the entire function. Then you can specify the contact address, specific instruction, do's and don'ts, if any such instruction that needs to be specified in the notice. Our first example is a notice for an excursion to Lonavala, which is near Mumbai during the autumn holidays. Let's see what all details we will write in this notice. This notice is for an excursion to Lonavala, which has been mentioned in the subject. Let's see the details that they have given. It is from 8 a.m. on 15th October. So they have specified the time, they have specified the date. Other details. We will be back in the evening. So this excursion is 1 day excursion, so no staying. The charges have been specified rupees 200, which is inclusive of the bus fare, the snacks and lunch. So except for 200, nothing else need to be paid. Interested students can enroll their names with the undersigned, and the person who is writing or drafting this notice is the head boy of the school. I think we have written all the details that is required for this notice of excursion to Lonavala. Our second example is a notice for science exhibition, which is being done on the death anniversary of Ramanujam. Let's quickly have a look at the notice. We have specified the name, the place, notice, the date, and participation in science exhibition. That's the title. And the school is celebrating the death anniversary of famous Indian mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujam by holding a science exhibition in the assembly hall. That's the venue. The date has been specified. So they have clearly mentioned the occasion and the event that is happening. So it's on the death anniversary of Srinivasa Ramanujam that the science exhibition is being done. Students may submit their own constructed working models. So these are the instructions, additional information. It has to be working model demonstrating the principles of science and mathematics. And the interested participants can contact the undersigned with their exhibits by the 20th April. And then we have the head girl writing this notice here. The next notice that we are going to discuss is notices written for either appeal or request. When we are drafting a notice for either the appeal or request, we need to specify the name of the organizer. So who is organizing it, the target reader, is it an appeal or request, whatever it is that needs to be specified, and the contact person. In the first example that we will discuss here is a notice written to inform the residents that there will be no water supply in the area for a day due to the maintenance work. Let's discuss the notice in details. So as you can see on your screens, they have clearly mentioned it's the Residents Welfare Association, Sayok Colony, Delhi, followed by notice, the date here, and the topic. And they've clearly said it's 1 day disruption in water supply. The target readers are the residents. They are being informed that there will be no water supply in the area for 1 day. Date has been specified, the timing has been specified, and the reason is due to maintenance work. The water pipelines are being repaired by the municipal corporation. So this is the information that they have given, the reason for the maintenance. Now the appeal is, residents are requested to make necessary arrangements to store water and use it sparingly. The inconvenience caused to us is regretted by the MCD, and they have mentioned the secretary is the issuing authority here. So in this notice, we clearly see the secretary is requesting the people to make their necessary arrangements in order to store water for at least 1 day. In the second example that we're going to discuss, the inspector of police from the traffic department is coming to the school in order to deliver a lecture on road safety, and that has to be informed to the students through a notice. Let's quickly discuss the content of this notice. All students are the target readers. They are being informed about this lecture on road safety by the inspector of police. The details, the date, the venue, the timing, specific information. Attendance of all students is compulsory. It is mandatory to attend this lecture. Students must assemble in the auditorium and take their seats by 9:15 a.m. And the issuing authority here is the principal of the school. Apart from the 5 types of notices that we have discussed in the video earlier, there are few other notices like for the change of name or the change of timing of the school, change of uniform, which I have put in this category, which is miscellaneous. So all the other types of notices has been put in this category. Let's quickly see few examples of miscellaneous notices. A first notice under this category is the principal informing the students about the change of their biology paper, which was supposed to take place on the 5th and which was supposed to take place on the 29th, but now it has been postponed to 5th October. Let's quickly look at the content. Students of class 12, that's the target group here. They are being informed that the first term biology paper scheduled for 29th shall now take place on 5th October. So they have changed the date of the exam. Reason being because 29th is declared as a gazetted holiday. Other than a change in the date of the biology paper, the first term examination date sheet remains the same. So just one exam has been changed. So this is changing of time. Our second example is the principal again informing the students about the change of timing. From the 20th of January, the school shall start at 9 a.m. rather than 8 a.m. So here again, students are hereby informed. So our target group are being informed that with effect from 20th January, the timings will change. Instead of 9 a.m., the school starts at 8 a.m. due to contractual issues with the private buses plying for a school. So the issue has been specified. There are problems with the private buses that give services to the school, and keeping that in mind, the school timing has been changed. And until these issues are completely resolved, we will start school at 9 a.m. until further notice. So they have clearly mentioned that until and unless next notice is received about the time change, the same will be in practice. Our next example is a very common notice that we come across every year in our schools, and this is for the magazine, collecting articles or sketches for the school magazine. Let's quickly discuss the details. Students, a target group, they are being requested to submit articles, sketches for the school magazine. Now they have given the month of the publication, which is December, and this notice is being written on 5th November. Themes for contributions may relate to environment, pollution, conservation of wildlife, or any social issue. So they have provided the topics or themes on which the students can give the articles. Contributions should be submitted within 15 days to the undersigned. So the school editor, the issuing authority, is writing this, informing the students about the school magazine, and 15 days are being provided in order to return all the articles to the school editor. Following this are few examples which are again from the CBSE papers, which you can use for practice. Let's quickly see a few important points that we need to keep in mind while we are writing a notice. The first and the very important one is that while we are writing a notice, we should keep in mind the 5 Ws. What is going to happen? That is the event or the occasion. Where will it take place? When will it take place? That is the date and the time. Who can apply or who is eligible for it? Who to contact or apply to? So these are the 5 points that should be there in any type of notice that we write. Second point, only the most important point should be written. As we all know that notices are short answer type questions and it only has 50 words. So we have to be very judicious in order to understand what are the main points that need to be written. So we only have to use important points. One is free to add any relevant information not included in the question. So if the question has not provided any relevant information which the student feels need to be there, you are free to add all these information. The sentences should be short and grammatically accurate. So in order to write and score well for the expression part, it's important that you write short sentences but accurate sentences. We should use a passive voice, and a notice like advertisement, poster, and invitation has to be within a box. And the word limit is 40 to 50 words, which is only the body of the notice. We don't count the format in these words. And the last point, information given in a notice must be clear and should not cause any misunderstanding or confusion. So whatever information we are providing to the readers, to our target group, should be clear. It should not cause any misunderstanding or confusion. Otherwise, the point of writing the notice will not be fulfilled. Thank you for connecting with me for notice writing. If you liked it, then please share and subscribe. And if you find anything difficult, anything not understood, then do mention it in the comment section. Thank you.